Alrighty, everybody, welcome to another episode of 20 to Midnight, the D&D stream where three, sometimes two, but sometimes three again, heroes must race against the clock if they want to save the world.
My name is Beth, and I'm playing Helena Hailstorm, a human fighter from the Veldrin Empire, and I am, as ever, coming to you from London town.
And I am Emma Sherr-Ziarko. Oh my God, wow, I just forgot my lines. I play Cal, aka Calistoga Vance, who is a tiefling sorcerer from Bas Saranath, and I am coming to you from the land of enchantment, Santa Fe, New Mexico.
My name is Gabriel Urbina. I am the Dungeon Master, and I come to you from the one true city, the place to where all roads leads and which breaks all hearts, New York City. And welcome, folks. It's the first time that we're playing in 2025. Second time that we're playing in 2025.
Second time.
It feels like
Yes.
the first time somehow.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it feels like it.
It's almost like there's been some kind of regime change that
Yeah.
makes
Oh,
it feel like
God.
we're living in a different dimension in some way in recent days.
No,
But
we're just talking about how we're disassociating. I don't know what you're talking about.
And off we go into the world of fantasy. So guys, what happened last time? We had a nice, low-key, quiet session.
Yes, nothing big happened.
Except I hope we remember what did happen, because I don't want to go through that again.
I was gonna say, all right,
Yeah.
since nothing happened, let's just get started. No recap necessary.
Yeah,
On we
yeah.
go with the show. So most of what happened last time is that you were ambushed by the gigantic underwater monster that you were hoping to ambush, which sort of tore a proverbial hole through the Solinese fleet and was able to sort of be lured to the surface only because you and the Solinese and the ghost army of King Uldar the Ninth, all sort of working in tandem, managed to destroy enough of its tentacles to kind of have to make the big bad monster come up to the surface. So hats off to you guys on that. Really, really quite well done. But then things got a little bit tricky because you had to kind of destroy the different runes throughout its body that were sort of the things keeping the creature alive, similar to the way that the rock had these sorts of runes. Well, there's no easy way to put it. Helena had a slight case of
It did not go well.
being swallowed alive.
Yeah.
Which means that Cal and Volt had to do all the heavy lifting, all the hard work. Just like while slacker Helena lounged in her pool of stomach acid.
Yeah, I'm mad about it.
But eventually, I think like Cal got like the MVP award last time as she was able to
Just
destroy
flying around.
the runes and then race within the belly of the beast itself to save Helena from certain death. Which you did. Although I think that you
you
are
did very
still
well.
fairly close to death, question mark?
I'm fine.
Barely.
You eventually, regrouped, found that Satus, though he had been once again kind of put under magical sleep, had been saved from the icy waters of the Sapphire Sea by the Solinese telekinetics. And then you both remembered an interesting detail, which is that the rock had this mysterious, kind of empathetically communicative pyramid that was embedded in its forehead. And, which in the past greatly benefited the two of you, question mark. And it was consequence-free, question mark.
So far.
So you decided that it was important that you go and see if there was another one of these pyramids. And perhaps more to the point, that it was important that if there was one, that it end up in the Hailstorm Vance custody rather than in the hands of the Solinese Navy. Who as soon as you got there, we're already examining the body. We're already kind of, like on site. One of them very pointedly mentioned that, like, now that this was over, the fleet was headed back to Soliana. So those are all things to consider. But eventually, stealthily, making a great point about how, like, you were trying to do this out of sight, you did manage to locate this pyramid. And I believe that Helena has it. And
I believe so.
As you touched it, it kind of gave you that sort of like empathetic feeling of the nice emotion that you get when you see a friend that has been absent for some time. So you grabbed the pyramid, you flew away from the carcass of the beast back to kind of the Solinese flagship. You reunited with Satus, and you, tried to bamf on out of there with your scroll for word of recall, but unfortunately you did it out in the open in the deck, surrounded by a lot of people, which led to the last thing that happened, which was Razac casting every Baldur's Gate 3's player's favorite spell, Counterspell, which interrupted the casting, but also made the scroll be used up and destroyed, effectively taking away your get out of here free card. And I think that we are all set to join the action basically in that moment. Unless there's any questions or anything that you guys want to talk about and anything that happened last session. Oh, I do have one more thing. But first, do you guys have anything else?
I think that, yeah.
I think that covers it. Yes, absolutely.
Great. So something that happened last time is that you leveled up.
Yes, we did.
Do you guys want to talk for a second about any new things that you can do now that you have leveled up?
Sure. Do you want to go, Helena? Or
I will
should
go because
Okay,
I have,
great.
as ever, less magical things. But I can now attack 3 times per turn. So in a circumstance where I actually get near something that needs attacking, I'll be pretty deadly.
Sure.
That's pretty great.
Hey, it could happen.
Yeah. And I pretty much, I believe, in leveling up, I gained a whole bunch of new spells. I don't know if I just hadn't learned enough before, but I think I gained 5 new spells, 4 spells and a cantrip. And so
you maybe
I
had a few lying around from like the last level.
I might have had a few. Yeah, I might have had a few lying around that I hadn't chosen. But
that's a big boost. But yeah, what have we got?
I took the opportunity to learn some new spells. So for my cantrip, I learned poison spray.
Okay.
Then for my spells, what did I learn? Let's see here. I learned fly, which thought might be useful at some point.
Amazing.
Dispel magic, which might also be useful at some point.
That's fantastic, yes.
Ice storm.
Ooh.
And what I'm most excited about, because I get a 6th level spell, disintegrate.
Oh well, well.
Which, just so we know,
the spell that it's like it's not enough to kill you. You should also just disappear, taking along with you any loot and items that you have with you.
That is true. But just in case.
Sometimes you gotta do it. Sometimes it's just so fucking necessary.
Yeah, exactly. And so basically, it does. If they fail a dexterity save, it is 10d6 plus 40 force damage.
That's pretty good.
So,
that's pretty good.
That's a lot. That's a lot of damage. But yes, it would destroy any items. But you know what? Does Razac need to be disintegrated?
It's getting that way, maybe.
Anyway. I think that's it. I think that's all that I got to do. And some stats went up a little bit.
Cool.
Well, that's plenty. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I think that in that case, we should jump on in then. As, with a bit of a smolder, the scroll hits the deck of the ship and burns up. And your gaze looks backwards to where the source of the red beam that knocked the scroll out of your hands. And you sort of find Razac with kind of 2 fingers extended upwards. As she sort of goes, "One moment. I think that there's still a couple of things for us to talk about before you all make your exit from the Navy. So if I could please ask you to refrain from doing anything funny, that would be tremendous."
Admiral Razac, I am tired, I am cranky, I'm somewhat worse for wear.
You have
having been
perfectly use of your
swallowed.
quarters. Go
What?
take a nap.
And I say this with respect, the fuck could you possibly want now?
Well, I need to be most... Above everything else, I need to be focused on the safety of my nation. And you 2 and... you 3, well really you 4, have proven to be exceptionally useful assets to keeping my people safe. At least in the long term. On top of that, I think that you owe the nation of Soliana quite a bit of a karmic debt. I am not the person to judge such things, but I believe that the High Court of the Valenjal will be able to deal with you accordingly.
Oh right, we've got places to be, in fact.
Yeah. If you don't let us go right now, there will be no Soliana. There will be no Veldria. There will be nothing. Okay? So you need to get over it and let us go. I'm very sorry for what we did, but we just saved your asses again.
The fact that you have, as you put it, saved our asses will be taken into consideration in the long scheme of things. But for now, you are assets of the Solinese crown, and you will be used to safeguard, above everything else, the safety of Solinese citizens. Emma, do me a favor and roll me a d20. I just realized I don't have my die. One second.
You might need that.
We can roll for you.
Yeah, we'll roll for you.
We were just saying we can always roll for you.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
We're very trustworthy.
Yeah.
I know
I
you
rolled an
are.
18.
Okay, very good.
I rolled an 18.
Cool. Let me just take a quick look-see at something before
Cal,
we
can
Okay.
I just, thump her a
Yeah.
little bit? I mean,
You do at this point. Do whatever you want to her.
Okay, very good. She will sort of continue to say, "Make yourselves at home. Please enjoy our facilities, but don't do anything that might involve leaving the fleet, or we might need to take extraordinary measures."
Fine. Let's go to our quarters, Helena.
yeah? Okay, Cal, I'll just get Satus.
Yeah.
We can all 3 of us have a little chat.
Yep.
4
And
of us.
if anybody touches Volt, I will kill you. Okay?
I don't know that you're in a position to be issuing threats right now, Miss Vance, but I assure you,
Oh, I am.
Nope.
I am if you hurt my special boy.
no one will lay a finger upon your special boy.
Thank you.
In fact, I think that some of our quartermasters are providing your special boys breakfast as we speak.
Can we see that?
Yeah, a couple of sailors are coming up with what look like 4 buckets of, raw sliced meat.
Okay. He does deserve a good breakfast.
Yeah, Volt will, sort of hungrily just, plow into the meat the moment that it is laid out in front of him.
Yeah. Hey, buddy. If anybody acts suspiciously, you just fly, okay? You just fly away. I'll be back for you.
He will nod.
Okay.
Grand. Okay, and then the three of you, if you're taking Satus with you, go to your quarters.
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
Yes.
I mean, maybe we can have a private conversation in the corner of the ship. I don't see why we should go to our quarters just because she says so.
Well, you did say that you were very tired.
Well, that was tired of her.
Emma, do me a favor and roll me another d20, please.
Okay. Oh, that one is a 9.
Okay, very good. Continue.
Well, I just think that, I mean, okay, we need to
talk?
Yeah, we need to talk. And,
Okay.
we need some privacy to do that. We don't have to go to our quarters, but we need to go somewhere that we won't be overheard.
Okay.
We've still got our super ugly rings on, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the rings of mind shielding.
Okay, great. Yeah.
I mean, you haven't told me that you've taken them off.
No.
Mine hasn't been digested by stomach acids.
No.
Yes.
No. That ring is made out of resistant stuff.
Yeah, just
Nice,
as in me.
nice.
And
Fine.
and
Yeah.
Satus also still has his on.
Great.
Okay, so you're going below deck.
So, yes, unless you think otherwise, Helena.
I do worry about leaving Vault.
Yeah, that's a good fear. Is there can we look around and see if there's any like secluded place on the deck? Where
I
we could-
mean, like, you know, Volt is being fed sort of in that like area of the deck behind the wheel where the helmsman steers the ship. And there doesn't seem to be a lot going on there, so you could kind of go like behind Volt and sort of hope that between the wind and the waves, and if you keep your voices down, that like you will not be overheard. But there will be people around. Like, this is kind of like a busy, hustling, moving ship, and Razac is kind of talking to like her main counselors and 2 mind flayers on sort of the main deck further ahead from the wheel of the ship. So, I mean, you could be keeping an eye on her. But I do want to stress that, like, this is still very much like a public space with people milling around. You could go up to the crow's nest, maybe.
Crow's nest! I'd love to go up to the crow's
And
nest.
there will be
Great
someone
views.
there, but you could maybe persuade them to leave.
I can persuade them to leave.
That
Okay.
sounded ominous as all hell.
Sure, I've got oh no, my persuasion's not so great. My deception.
I was gonna say, you can lie your ass off.
I now have plus 14 deception. How is that possible? How is that a
Oh my goodness.
How is that a real stat?
Like, if you have... I like sort of the character note, and I've said this about other characters that I've played. When your deception becomes better than your persuasion, it's like things sound better coming from Cal when it's a lie. Like, when she tells the truth, people are like,
100%.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but when
I
it's a
don't
lie,
know.
it's like, that sounds so genuine and so good and so persuasive.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, if you want to go up to the crow's nest, we can do that.
You're just humoring me.
Yes, but I'm tired.
You're gonna drag Satus to the crow's nest? Like, that seems like an operation, too. Or you could leave Satus with Volt.
Cal, I'll do what you think is rational.
Oh, I think we're past rational.
Let's just jump off the boat then. How far is it to not here?
Okay. Well, this
Far.
is something that I want to. This is something that I want to discuss
look,
with you.
It would not be the craziest thing to just get one of those long boats and then some provisions and then row to Spain like there's no mañana. Like that is not the nuttiest proposition. But you're probably at least 2 days away from, the mainland on Helena rowing power.
Okay.
It's a lot shorter by Dragonflight.
Yes, that's what I wanted to talk about. But
Okay.
but Volt has only ever carried 2 of us.
All right. Let's
Not-
where are we going? Where are we having this conversation?
Yeah, let's I think let's roll a die about it.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll abide
Okay.
by the decision of fate.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll a d6.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's an odd number, we go up to the crow's nest and try to convince whoever's there to leave. If it's an even number, we go to our quarters below deck.
Okay.
Okay? It's a 6. So
All right.
down we go.
Cool.
Okay.
Can I get a d20 from both of you, please?
Oh boy.
12.
11.
11, and Beth, how much was yours?
12.
Very good. Okay. So, you
I
find...
don't like these random d20 rolls, Gabriel.
You close the door into your quarters as you get there. And for the first time in a long while, everything is still and peaceful and quiet around you.
Huh. I'm checking the room.
Yeah. That sounds like
You
a
find
good
3
idea.
Solinese sailors in the closet. No, you don't.
Get out.
I don't
The
care
weird-
what you were doing.
The weird
We're
thing,
here now.
the weird thing is that they're
Yeah.
not spying. They were all making out with one another.
Yeah, exactly. Good for you. Just go somewhere else.
No, roll me an investigation check, Beth.
Okay. Okay. I get a 16.
I think that with a 16, you sort of, poke around the room and remembering the lessons from when the Rakshasa was kind of stalking you.
I was very much thinking of
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
if a space looks empty, you still kind of feel around it to make sure that there aren't any, invisible surveyors there or anything. You kind of throw some water around to make sure that it doesn't, come into contact with anything that isn't supposed to be there. You look behind the paintings, you kind of open the window and poke your head out to make sure there isn't a suspicious looking frog kind of just hanging on the side of the ship right next to the porthole that leads into your room. There's nothing obvious that you can find. You suspect that given the number of telepaths on this ship, if they wanted to be remotely surveying this room, if they really wanted to do that, they probably could set their minds to it. But given that you have rings of mind shielding and they would now need to kind of be magically surveilling the space itself and how much other shit is going on in the fleet right now, you think it's unlikely.
Okay.
So, first things first.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should do something with the
Should we? Because we could just not. And
And say you did.
Yeah.
we could just wait until we're off this ship.
We could, but how are you feeling, Helena?
Great.
I think that I'm going to need a deception roll there.
Yeah.
As, with frayed ends of hair, parts of her armor eaten away by acid, visible bruises, cuts, nicks.
Yeah.
I have a 13.
Look, part of you is maybe she is feeling great. Maybe I'm coddling her. Until you see her legs shaking slightly and kind of the twitch in her eye. She's holding it together, but she's definitely holding it together.
Well, fine, Helena. I'm not going to force you to use it, but at least take another potion. I think you've got another potion of superior healing, and I've got 2, so...
Okay. I'm more concerned about them finding it, but if you want to have a go with it, I can pass it over.
I'll take a look.
Here you go.
Thank you. We should come up with a code name for this thing. Like pineapple.
Fine.
Yummy, yummy pineapple.
Okay, so now you take the red pyramid, Cal?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You now have it
I
with...
thought this one was blue.
Oh, was this one blue? I was just thinking...
I think this
I
one
was just
is
thinking, am I
blue.
getting my colors mixed up? Was the first one red?
I think the first one was red, and I think this one is blue, but I could be wrong, or maybe Cal's colorblind.
Let's just retroactively say... Did I not? Oh, no. Yep, I have it right here. This is the blue pyramid.
Okay. Okay, great.
You are
Great.
very correct. Okay, yes.
Thank you.
You sort of, get the blue pyramid, and again, you sort of feel that, like, pleasant, empathetic warmth of seeing an absent friend after some time away when you touch it.
Are you a friend?
You have this feeling of deep certainty. This kind of just, like, deep, deep conviction. Yeah.
Okay. Can you help us get out of here?
Yes. You sort of, again, kind of get this feeling of almost like looking at a blackboard that begins with this, like, very complicated equation, and the further that you look down, the more it winnows into, like, 2 + 2 = 4. Just sort of this, like, feeling of, like, yes, that makes sense and is sensical and may seem complicated, but boy, it couldn't be easier, really.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I guess I'll convey that to Helena, that feeling.
Yeah.
That, I don't know if we trust it, but this might be how we get out of here.
Let's do it, Cal. You've done enough for the team in the last however long it's been, and we don't have a whole load of options.
No, we don't. And,
I'm not saying it isn't going to eat our souls down the line. I'm just saying we'll cross that bridge when we come to it,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've already kind of promised our soul, well, not our souls, but some of our time.
Oh,
to
sure.
the curator,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
You're just
Yeah.
writing checks left and right.
Did we both do that?
I think
all
we all
three of
did.
you did that.
Yeah,
You know what? It'd be a great time for the curator to turn up and kill the Solinese Navy. If he wanted to do that right now, I, for one, would be fine with it.
Roll me a d20, Beth.
7.
You say that, and it echoes around for a minute. And the steady lap of the waves is the only reply that comes from the space around you.
Uh-huh. Anyway,
so if this thing can do that, where do we want to go? Because our other option is we all get on Volt and hope for the best.
But all three of us, which is obviously a worry.
It's a lot.
Can Volt fit in a longboat?
It need to be a big longboat, but like...
I mean, he could fly next to the longboat.
Also remember...
Or like sit on the back and sort of propel us?
And remember, Volt is amphibious. Like, Volt does not share your pedestrian need to breathe oxygen and have refuge from the sea.
That is cool.
Yeah.
And now that the Kraken has been killed, the chances of you running into something in this particular ocean that is bigger and scarier than Volt are lower.
Yeah. Okay. So, option 1, we see what this thing can do.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly lose our souls in the process, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Option 2, we all try to get on Volt.
Yep.
And go. Option 3, which seems to be what you're thinking, is we commandeer a rowboat for the 3 of us, and Volt will swim and or fly alongside us. but that will be a fairly long journey, probably.
I guess what I'm thinking is, if that were possible, we can
Yes.
still get on Volt. We still have that option.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
just that we could start if it's going to be too far for him. Because
Yeah.
obviously, we want to get away from here.
Yeah.
To almost anywhere, but I feel like ideally we'd make for Maves, right? Of some stamp.
Maves or the where we were gonna show up in the Temple of the Night Star, maybe, which is not too far from Maves.
Quick,
But
just intelligence check for both of you, please.
oh.
Yes.
Oh. 9.
11?
Okay, one moment. God, I need a better filing system. I just want to do a quick, geography check here.
I see, yes.
Fair enough.
Okay, so, you are, basically kind of in this, little bit of the sea between the city of Westfall and Shortwater Bay. Or excuse me, now the ruins of Westfall. The shortest, the nearest kind of familiar place is Cloudfall, which is to the sort of northwest of where you are. You think that it might be within a day's flying journey.
Okay.
And you do know that that there is an Eye of the Storm there.
Right.
Alternatively, you could fly south, and very quickly you would be crossing the Bas Serenathi Desert and going to Selduran, which is maybe if getting to Cloudfall is 1, getting to Selduran is 1.5 the amount of distance. So probably coverable within 2 days of journeying by Dragonflight. If you are actively worried about Volt's abilities to carry you, the absolute nearest port is the large Solinese city of Farview, which would be on the Solinese mainland and may be where the fleet is going. You could roll the dice on there maybe being an Eye of the Storm there. It is a major city, and Maeve seems to have locations in a lot of the major cities of the world. But that is sort of the nearest major town that you can think of. And then Linvale, the Veldrin capital, is even further north than Cloudfall. You think that would maybe be 2 days of travel by Dragonflight.
Got it. And that is where...
That is where the scroll was going to
from.
take you. Yes.
Right. And eventually this third behemoth thing is in Kelmoltrin?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes,
okay.
It is. It has been cited.
So we're nowhere. We're nowhere near that.
No, that is. You are far away from that.
Okay.
I believe it was seen either heading towards or attacking the Kelmoltrian city of Akaros.
That sounds right. Okay. I say whether we fly, or try to get this thing to teleport us, I say we head for Cloudfall. Because we have friends there, we have allies there, there's an Eye of the Storm there. And
I like it.
Added bonus, Cloudfall is very high up in the mountains. It is not a port city. It will be more difficult for a naval force to pursue you there.
Right.
Yeah. I think that every other possibility is a port town. Yeah. You could also go to Shortwater Bay, which is the city that was theoretically going to be the monster's next target. But that is a smaller city that is also kind of a Solinese outpost.
I think we avoid Soliana as much as we can.
Okay,
I think so, if it's all the same, yeah.
sure.
If we escaped in a boat, we might want to head there. But like if we were to
If you
row
were
there,
rowing, it would probably be the shortest distance.
yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of veering towards not rowing. I'm wondering if there's anything we can do to make it easier.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull out this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Could you get the three of us and our dragon to Cloudfall?
Hmm. The pyramid will give you sort of the empathetic feeling of standing at a sort of a rocky formation at a beach and seeing a wave impact and feeling the anticipation of the spray hitting you and then, the spray landing over you.
I just enjoy Gabriel coming up with these this imagery, this symbolic imagery.
It was very good. I thought you were just
Yeah.
enjoying your little friend the pyramid.
Yeah.
And the same wavelength, huh? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what that means.
You then the pyramid then grows bright for a moment, and you find yourself kind of having the feeling of standing in front of a table and there being two plates in front of you, one being sort of this delicious plate of cake and the other one being this very, very delectable tart, and knowing that you can only pick one of them.
Okay, so obviously our buddy can only communicate through feelings, and that does make it tricky. So we have a choice here. We can only have one of two things.
Yep. I'm not sure which one we can have.
So are we thinking that it's telling us to go ahead and make a choice about how we get off the boat, or are we thinking that saying it can either get us out of here or heal us?
It glows brightly again for a moment, and then Emma, you feel that feeling of relief as you sort of bandage a cut and just feel that pain numbing and going away.
I think my instinct is the second, that it can either get us out of here or it can heal us. Which I don't know.
Cake
how do we
tart.
Yeah. How do we steal a boat?
Well, I think we would have to
First up, you find the boat.
First of all, if we're stealing a boat, we're not going to Cloudfall, so that's one interesting point.
Yeah.
I think we'd have to probably wait till dark. I think we would have to
intimidate or violence
disable
our way.
knock out, because she's going to expect us to do something like this.
Yeah.
I think the boats will be pretty heavily guarded. We're going to have to do some violence, I think.
Yeah.
Or something very clever indeed to several people. Then we're going to have to get off without raising the alarm and or drawing fire. And we will be maneuvering Satus and Volt, so it would be hard to be completely sneaky.
No, I do have...
Yes?
I have my gloves of disguise, which don't have to be Jeff.
But you can be Jeff.
But I can be Jeff.
Also, Emma, don't you have a primordially power book of illusions that allows you to
I do have that too.
Okay, well that sounds...
But I could also just be Jeff.
Okay, before we... or somebody... you could be Admiral Razac, or... but
no. If we can find a time when she's not there, we can lure her away with, say, a mirage of some sort, and then I could I could try to impersonate her.
Quick insight check, both of you.
Okay. Ah! Natural 1.
I also got a natural 1. Extraordinary.
Say no more, plan no more. Let's not ask for details. Let's take flight with this plan right away. Interrogate nothing any further.
Got a natural 1 minus 1.
No. But like, don't take this as a damning condemnation of this plan at all. There's a couple of things that might be worth thinking about here that now I can't gesture towards because both of you comedically were just like, is there anything else to think about here? So you're on your own. I can't help you with it.
Yeah.
I can't help you here. Good luck.
I would say that if we're gonna do this and possibly at least start in the rowboat, maybe then get on Volt and fly somewhere, what I will say is I think it would behoove us to be pretty healed beforehand.
Oh, Emma, roll me another d20. Roll me another insight check before we say that.
Okay. 11?
On the other hand, should an escape plan go awry, it'd be nice to have a different escape plan still available.
Okay. That is true.
I can see both sides of the argument. I just needed both sides to be articulated.
Yep. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and like, if it could take us straight to Cloudfall, maybe we can just heal with some potion. How are you for sort of magicy-ness?
I'm okay. I
great.
used a fair amount to kill that thing.
Yeah.
But it's weird. It's almost like you just unlocked some new mystical powers that weren't there before.
Like I feel like I could do more.
Sure.
But I might tap out in about the same amount of time, if that makes sense. Or close to the same amount of time. So okay. You for sure should take a healing potion. Then we try to steal a boat through shenanigans, and we row the boat as far as we can, possibly to what's the Solinese town that's closest?
Oh yeah?
Well, just to get on land, or we try to get on Volt mid-sea.
Shortwater Bay is the closest town.
Shortwater Bay.
I'm gonna send you both a.
Thank you.
Here, we're almost at a break. So let's take a 5-minute break. I'm gonna send you guys a map and sort of around where you are, just so that you can have a better sense of options.
Great.
So let's take a moment and do that, and we will be right back, folks.
Okay, great.